Okay, so today we will be reading the Murli of 10th of February 1975. Surrender yourself together with all powers for service. So, Baba has taken a very different angle in today's Murli to explain us, and he has told us that how we would be, remembered and worshipped. Very good word in Hindi we use is Gayan Yogya and Pujaniya Banna. So Baba always refers to these words that in the path of devotion we would be remembered or either we would be worshipped. So yes, very nicely mentioned in today's Murli. What will enable us to become such people, worship worthy? And there are two ways I think. One is to inculcate divine values, which everybody of us wants. And the other way to look at it as if we become worship worthy, how would people see us? So one is inculcating by default and other one is becoming a role model, a showcase piece for others. And sometimes the second approach feels quite satisfying because there is a sense of responsibility for us to become perfect. So the second approach Baba has really taken in the first half of the Murli, and then second part of the Murli he tells different things about the service. He has spoken about three things which will help us do very good service, and let us explore that as we read. So it's a big Murli, so I will be reading little fast, but yes, each words as always Baba has very deep meaning, so let us all focus as much as we can. So 10th of February 1975, surrender yourself together with all powers for service. So let us see how Baba has explored this. Today, this is the gathering of knowledgeable souls. Such knowledgeable and yogi souls are very much loved by Bap Dada. Okay, so again, if you see this, Baba has used two words. One is knowledgeable and one is yogi souls. So Baba always tells us to strike balance between both of them. And in the first paragraph, Baba has explored this, that these souls are very much loved by Bap Dada, and they are also loved by the whole world. Such knowledgeable and yogi souls are continually remembered and worshipped. Gayan Yogi and Pujan Yogi on the path of devotion. Even at the present time, such souls are worthy to be remembered and worshipped. So Baba is telling not only in future or in the path of devotion, Dwapar Yuga, but even at the moment in this Sangam Yuga, these souls are worthy to be worshipped and remembered. A worthy of worship soul means a soul who is elevated, and a praiseworthy soul means a soul whose virtues are remembered and spoken about even today. So what are the two elements? One is the soul is elevated, and the one who has inculcated virtues. These two are the ingredients for us to become worship worthy or praiseworthy. The praise and worship in the future depends on the present time. Each of you, with the power of your intellect, can visualize at the present time how much you will become praiseworthy and worthy of worship in the future. So let us pause and visualize with our intellect that based on our present present effort, how much praiseworthy or worship worthy we would be in the future? Each of you can check yourself to see whether even today you are looked upon by all souls, that is, by the souls who come into connection with you, by the souls of your Brahmin clan, and also by all the knowledgeable souls who come into contact with you with the vision of your being elevated, that is, of your being worship worthy. Even seniors are referred to as worthy of worship, that is pujya. So, do all souls see you with that vision and consider you to be such souls? Okay, so let's check that for a moment, because it is not just in future we would be worship worthy. All the traits should be found in the current birth only. So all those whom we come into contact, do they get such vibes from us? Let us check for a moment. Let me read this again because it's very good, subtle checking point. Each of you can check for yourself to see whether even today, you are looked upon by all the souls. That is, by the souls who come into your connection, by the souls of your Brahmin clan, and also by all the knowledgeable souls who come into contact with you with the vision of you being elevated, that is, of you being worthy of worship. So, do you also see you with that vision and consider you to be such souls? If only a few souls experience you to be worthy of worship, you should understand that the basis of the future is the present. Again, Baba has highlighted this point. If you see above, I had underlined here also. The praise and worship in the future depends on the present time. And the same thing Baba is repeating. You should understand that the basis of the future is the present. In the same way, do all those souls who become your companions, or who form a relationship with your experience, your virtues. If souls experience the virtues of someone, then even now, this is important. If the souls experience the virtues of someone, then even now, those souls would definitely sing praise in their minds or through their words, or of the virtues of that particular soul. Any virtue you have will definitely make an impression, because virtues cannot be hidden. So, have you become such worthy of worship souls, such knowledgeable and yogi souls who enable your virtues to be praised? In the praise of all the virtues sung, of a few souls or of all souls? Are only a few virtues praised? Which side of the balance is heavier? The praise of virtues or of ordinary activity? So Baba asked that in the Hindi, that kaun sa parda bhari hai? If we take that wing taraju, balance, so which one is heavier? Ordinary activity or the praise? According to the time, you now have to check your account in all subjects. Okay, so Baba has completed that first part of the Murli. Now here Baba is asking us to check the four subjects, to what extent you have accumulated, that is, to what extent you have become full in every subject through your thoughts, words, and deeds. Have you become full of all virtues or only of some virtues? Have you become benefactors or world benefactors? If you check now, then after having checked, there will still be some time available to make yourself complete. However, after some time, even the time for making yourself complete will finish. So this Baba had told in 1975 that there is still margin for us to make ourselves complete. And if we are reading this Murli today in the year 2023, probably Baba still feels that we have some time, but after some time, even the time for making yourself complete will finish. What will you do then? You will become souls who simply observe souls who have become complete. You will not be able to become those who claim a seat. So, do you want to become an image who guards visions, who grants visions, or one who receives visions? Would we like to give sakshatkar to others, or we would like to do sakshatkar of others? In order to become an image who grants vision, that is sakshatkar murt banna, in essence, check three things in yourself. Okay, so these three things Baba is elaborated in the second part of the Murli. So just see the linking how Baba has, Baba approaches different subjects. So earlier Baba asked us to check whether we are worship worthy or um, are we praiseworthy, and eventually he told us to check that are we knowledgeful and yogi souls, and whatever is in future, the same thing, whatever is in the present, the same thing will be revealed in future. So he asked us to check in the present. He also asked us to check the ordinary activity versus the virtues, the balance of that. How much are we having more? And now Baba is telling us we still have some time, but in order to become us unable grant virtues, three things we have to make sure. One is, have you become full of all rights? Have you become one who has mercy for others? And have you become one who gives regard and respect? So three things: full of all rights. Second is become one with mercy. And third one is to give regards and respect to everyone. That is, have you become worthy of giving and receiving respect to and from everyone? Remember that to give respect is to receive respect. Interesting. To give respect is to receive respect. Only on the basis of these three, you will be revealed to the world as world benefactors. If we have these three, then we become Vishwa Kalyankari. Do you clearly know the explanation of these? So Baba is now all these three Baba is further elaborating. To become one who has all rights means to have a right over all your physical organs. Together with this, just as the physical organs of the body are the different parts, the hands and feet, etc., so too the power of the soul and the mind, intellect, and the sanskars. Have you developed all rights over these subtle paths? Have you become one who has rights over your creation, that is, over matter? None of the elements of matter pull you to themselves, do they? When, through silence, sorry, science, they have reached the stage where they are able to go beyond the pull of matter and the earth. It does not seem right that Master Almighty authority souls experience any difficulty in going beyond the attraction of matter, that is, beyond corporeal feelings and attain the stage of being avyakt and almighty authorities. So Baba has first told that we should have the rights and control not only on the physical organs but also on the subtle organs, that is the man, buddhi, sanskars. And Baba has given the example of the Lokik people. Yesterday itself, I think they launched the Chandrayaan 3 mission, wherein the rocket was launched from India, ISRO, to the moon. So Baba is telling, if those people are able to go beyond the pull of matter and earth, why can't the Master Almighty Authority Source experience going beyond the attraction of matter, that is, beyond corporeal feelings, and attain the stage of being avyakt and almighty authorities? Picture has been created as a sample of a few of those paths that are attained from the Father. Do you have a right over all the paths received as an inheritance? That is, do you have all rights over your own property? So that you are able to make yourself successful through any particular power whenever you want. Just as you have full rights over any physical property that belongs to you, and because it is your own property, you are able to use it whenever you want. In the same way, are you able to use the godly property and whatever powers you have, whatever you want, whenever you want? So another example of Baba is giving us third example to clarify this, that if we have possession of any physical property, for example, if I have my own phone, my own watch, I can use it the way I want. Nobody else will interfere. The same way, do I use the godly property whenever I want, or whatever powers I have whenever I want? Do you have full rights over this property? This is known as being one who has full rights. Okay, so same thing Baba in many Murlis tells us, Karmendriya Jeet Banna, being rulers of our own senses. So that is having right over the property. Now let us go to the second aspect, that is the mercy. Remember, we were discussing three parts. One is the right, second is mercy, and third one is respect. So Baba has explored the first part. Now let us read the second part. Constantly have mercy, that is, have good wishes and pure feelings for every soul. While seeing each soul, you should experience all those souls to be souls who surrender themselves in order to being loving and cooperative to the Father at every moment. So what is Baba telling? Very interesting thing. While seeing every soul, you should experience all those souls to be souls who surrender themselves in order to being loving and cooperative to the Father at every moment. So not only us, but even those souls whom we are seeing, we should experience them to be the souls who are surrendered. Why do they become instruments to make such a sacrifice? Because Baba surrenders himself to everyone. Have you surrendered yourself to serve everyone together with all the powers? Have you become a great donor for everyone, a bestower for a bestower who bestows your time, your happiness, and your desires for attainment. Only those who follow the Father in the same way, that is, only those who sacrifice any desire for name and fame, regard, and all attainments for themselves, can be merciful towards others. Hmm? Very natural. If I am myself busy having desires, having name, having fame, then how will it be possible for me to have mercy on others? That is why Baba has given us an indication that I have to become a great donor, which Baba has mentioned earlier, a bestower who bestows your time, your happiness, and your desires. So, three things: time, we have to probably give our time also for others. We might have to sacrifice our happiness as well, desires and attainment, desires for attainment. So, only those who follow fathers in the same way, they will be merciful towards others. Only the great donors who have renounced any desire, इच्छा कभी त्याग करना, to receive anything, can be merciful towards others. In the same way, those who give respect, okay, the third thing, to others should constantly feel respect for everyone. In order to be respectful to all, you have to consider yourself to be everyone's server. So I need to be serving others in order to get served from them, right? The definition of a server is very deep. To be a server doesn't just mean to be doing physical service or serving through words, serving through contacts, or service through the different facilities and instruments. But elevated service means to donate your every virtue and make others virtuous and to color others with your company. This is very interesting. So, service doesn't just mean giving physical facilities, which we often feel. Of course, that is the thing, but elevated service means to donate your every virtue and make others virtuous and to color others with your company. अपने संग का रंग लगाना और अपने गुणों को सभी तरफ फैलाना, उन्हें भी गुणवान बनाना. You should not look at the defects while seeing them. You should finish the defects of others with the power of your own virtues. That is, you should make weak ones powerful. This is very interesting. Instead of seeing the defects of others, we should try to finish them. Not by telling them that you are defective, but with the power of our own virtues. This is very interesting. If anybody has any insights, any experience around this, please share later on. So Baba is telling you should make weak ones powerful. You should not step away from the weak ones or become tired of them. You can give respect to someone who is a hopeless case by stabilizing yourself in your elevated stage of self-respect, and through your own service, you can become one who is respectful to all. Very deep point. So giving respect is not just haji karna, but it's very deep, especially the ones who are hopeless case or who are not the way we want them to. If we are able to serve those, that is what Baba is telling us, establishing yourself into your elevated stage of self-respect. So let me just read this again, very deep statements. So I'll quickly read this again. To be a server doesn't just mean to be doing physical service or service through words, service through contacts, or service through the different facilities and instruments. But elevated service means to donate your every virtue and make others virtuous and to color others with your company. You should finish the defects of others with the power of your own virtues. That is making weak ones powerful. You should not step away from the weak ones or get tired of them. You can give respect to someone who is a hopeless case by stabilizing yourself in your elevated stage of self-respect, and through your own service, you can become one who is respectful to all. You, you have to create your fortune whilst giving regard to others through your own renunciation. Look at everyone, whether they are young or old, Maharatis or infant, with the eyes filled with respect. To make someone who doesn't give any respect into one who gives respect, to make a destination to someone who constantly rejects others, to make someone who constantly defames others into one who praises others is known as being respectful to all. So this year, two types of service in particular should take place. One is of making the self complete. For this, you need to have methods everywhere for progress, facilities for yoga, bhattis, and bhattis for having dharna. In the same way, your special programs, group wise, everywhere, free everyone and give them the experience of a bhatti. Just as last year, you had a program of a yoga bhatti, in the same way, there should be a bhatti to make yourself full in both the subjects of remembrance and dharana. All of you should make such a program together. Secondly, second, the subjects of the world service. All centers have to create programs in their areas with great force to give Baba's message to everyone. None of the places around you should be deprived of receiving Baba's message, because otherwise there would be a great burden of the instrument souls of those who have been deprived. This is why you have to become rulers of the globe. To be a great donor means you have to continue to move forward whilst giving the great donation. Each of you instrument souls must not just be an instrument for the two to four centers, but you have to be an instrument to go around all the places in your zone. Continue to make others instruments like yourself in each place and continue to move forward. Do not just stay at one place. So again, sometimes we have this restriction that I belong to such and such center. I need to do service of this center, or maybe two or four centers. No, Baba is telling us to go around the different places of your zone. Continue to make other instruments like yourself in each place and continue to move forward. Just don't restrict yourself to one place. So this year, this is the special service you have to do whilst touring around, whilst giving Baba message and making others instruments like yourself. You have to give Baba's message to the entire world and also those around you. Now perform the task of creating hands according to the time, because the speed of time is becoming fast. Ready-made instrument souls can emerge easily as a practical result of service. You simply need to have the aim, the courage, and the power of discernment. So I think it's 5:30. There are just a couple of paragraphs. Maybe I'll just read it out in another 4-5 minutes. Just as there is the memorial from the previous cycle of how the Pandavas shot the arrows and water emerged. That is that is how they made effort and the fruit emerged. So it is now the time for instant practical fruit. It is now the season, and the time is also blessed, and so you have to take the benefit of it. Renounce using that time, facilities, and wealth for your own self, because only then will you be able to attain the for- fortune of instant practical fruit. You will never receive success by having rest or by yourself using something that has been donated for service. At the time of beginning of service, they even cut down on food for themselves and using everything for service. And you souls are the practical, instant fruit of that. In the same way, in the middle period, the father and drama gave you the experience of using all the facilities available for your own selves. However, now, at the end, even though nature is your servant, you have you have all the facilities, you must use them all for service and not for yourself. So Baba is giving us example that at the beginning, even people ate less food. Why? Because they wanted to serve people. They didn't want to waste money for themselves, but to waste rather to use that facilities for others. And Baba told that is why you children are the result, and now you are enjoying all the facilities. But even we should make sure what Baba is telling us, that we should not use them all for ourselves, but use it for service. This is because now, as you progress further, many souls will surrender their facilities and wealth to the maximum extent. However, you must never take anything for yourself. To take something for yourself means to deprive yourself of an elevated status. Therefore, become such an embodiment of renunciation and make the instant fruit of service emerge. Do you understand? Now, present to the Father a bouquet of hairs who are to become instruments, and souls who are cooperative in service. Only then will you be called world benefactors, and so the ones who have a right to be kingdom of the world. You will receive a prize for this. Baba has not yet seen the result of the last time to be able to give a prize. Therefore, make effort this time and claim a double prize once again. Acha, to all those who will themselves and claim a number ahead, to those who give instant practical fruit, to those who reveal the Father, to those who hoist the flag of the Shakti army and the Pandava army, to the souls who become instruments to bring victory to Bapdada throughout the whole world. Bapdada's love, remembrance, and namaste. Love, remembrance, and namaste to Bapdada from us, spiritual children. Om Shanti. So let us pause for a minute and then we'll start the sharing. So before we start the journey, just wanted to make a note for everyone that tomorrow, that is Sunday, we will have Brother Gokul conducting Murli Manthan, and the Murli dated would be 8th of February 1975, a subtle stage whilst seated on the seat of faith. Okay, so that Murli which we read of the 8th February, that he will be picking up for Churning. So make sure you read that and come tomorrow. Okay, so let's start with the churning of the current Murli.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
My decision is. Shall I continue?
Yes, please.
My decision is to donate my every virtue and make others virtuous and to color them with my company. Om Shanti.
Okay, and how will you do that, sister? If you can give an example.
I will teach whatever I learned from this family, Brahman family, or from this Murli, and make virtue others and color them.
Wonderful. Thank you, sister.
Thank you.
Oh, Shanti. Baba said, become an image that can grant visions. And there, Baba said three things to have this, become full of our rights, and then have mercy for others, and then give regard and respect. And then Baba says, giving respect is to receive respect. Then Baba says, you received, then you are revealed to the world as a world benefactors when you do that, all three. And then Baba went on elaborating each point, each three things very nicely. Yeah, thank you. Om Shanti.
Sure.
Adding on to what brother just said, the point that is to look at on a deeper level is Baba says the deepest level of respect is when we don't look at anybody's defects, but with our own power, give them that power that they grow. And no, that is the highest level of respect, that you don't, even to a hopeless soul, you will not look at the defects of them.
Yeah, very rightly mentioned, because in the service, we come across, some people, especially those cases where we expect something from them. For example, if I have given a timeline to my colleague that you should present me such and such report by such and such date, and that person is not able to do that, or he has given me an incorrect report. So a very normal thing which comes to the mind that this person is not really acting up to the mark, and we might end up having a different feelings for that. But even that is still probably people we come across, still we have hope. But Baba is telling even the cases where people are hopeless, where people is good for nothing, even in those cases, if we have a vision for them, if we give regard to them, respect to them, and we also being ourselves in the state of self-sovereignty, not just ourselves getting down off our seat, but whilst being on our seat, we're giving them respect. That is something which will make a probably make a big difference. And that is why Baba tells us that coloring others with your own company and making others also virtuous.
Om Shanti, brother.
Yes, sister.
Om Shanti. I like the first definition which Baba gives. Baba has placed the various category. Who's a knowledgeable soul? Who's a yogi soul? Who is a praiseworthy soul? Who is a worship worthy, even though the word is here worship worthy. I remember the Hindi part, pujiya and pujaniya. He gives such a nice difference between all that, who is what, in the first paragraph. Then he gives us one condition. Now, because it's time now. So after extolling us and making us check what kind of soul are we, he does that. Then what he wants us to do, vision. For that, he gives us 3 things that you should have right. And the right should be like a yogi soul over my organs, over matter and mind. But what I liked even in the paragraph is that mercy, that paragraph of mercy, because that is the heart of the Murli. Baba speaks about surrender. And I always think this 1975 Murlis were really couched with that, because people all were talking about some destruction in 1976. So that is why these 1975 Murli, I tried to go through sentence to sentence. And here rightly Baba explains, gives just 2 differences between an elevated server and a elevated respect. As you just said, if I am able to not look at the defects, but just keep giving. So just see what should be my vision. I just keep looking at the giving. Oh, receive kar raha hai kya? Is he worth it? Oh, pulse hai kya? No, I just keep giving. That is elevated service. Even hopeless cases, like Baba says, those hunchbacks, all those such kind of people also, they are hopeless. But making them into that is elevated service. And then about this respect which Baba has given, that's a wonderful thing. Giving respect to people who don't respect. Giving donation to people who don't want. And giving praise to people who are defaming you. Just, this is the height of service. So that one paragraph is what, even though after getting the knowledge of all this in the first paragraph, and the conditions which he has given me in the later paragraphs, I would like to concentrate on this paragraph on mercy, because each word over there is a checkpoint.
Wonderful. Thanks, sister. Any last sharing? So we have on the chat window, virtues cannot be hidden. Give respect is to receive respect. And we have all rights over the God's property.
Om Shanti.
Yes, brother.
Thank you, Baba. And I like that. And we have to give wishes and pure feelings. So this world bestower, or world bestower, not only bestower, the world bestower. That I like very much. And Sister rightly said that the elevated service. Yes, keep giving. Is that's very under very much. Om Shanti. Thank you, brother.
Om Shanti. Thank you, Bhaiya. So let us
Praful Bhai,
pause.
can you just explain to us one thing, please? See, in the
Haji.
last paragraph, Baba has spoken about centers and all. And I don't know how sometimes it coincides with the Sakar Murli. Even yesterday, Baba said, centers will become 1,000 centers, Gita Pachalas, Brahma, a very nice way. And what a right way in this Murli, Baba spoke about world service and centers. What is that lovely vision Baba is giving us? Can you churn, because you are the instrument in this?
What I could reflect is that, again, as we progress in a Brahmin family, anywhere for that matter, as we get so many contacts, there is a natural tendency that we come into a comfort zone. That, I'm happy serving at this center, I'm happy being student here, or maybe if there is a surrendered sister, I'm happy with this center. And we get a feeling that of just expanding or praising our own center, but here Baba wants us to go beyond my's and myself or my people, my mates. Probably he wants us to go beyond this had ka feeling and go behad ka thing, because we are not just benefactors. Someone just mentioned we are world benefactors. So he probably tells us, because that is again a sukshma maya. If I am just attached to my own center, if I am just attached to my own um, students or maybe my batchmates, so that is also kind of sukshma attachment, subtle feeling of this thing. So he wants us to go beyond this, and he wants us to move on, just not get restricted to one specific thing, one specific service and a place. And that is why Baba has mentioned those lines, that just don't sit at one place, zone ki seva karo, and so many things as mentioned over there. And so that is what I could reflect when I was reading that, because this is something which we see in present. Sometimes people get hanged on to those comfort zones and restrict themselves to that specific area. Sometimes that is okay, but at least through the mind we can broaden ourselves and think big, not just think of the local. There is a saying, stay locally and think globally. Some saying, I forgot that saying, but yeah, that is what I think Baba would want us to do here.
Thank you, brother.
Sure. So let us sit in silence for a couple of minutes and just reflect on the three things which Baba told us for us to become visions to others. The first one is having all rights. So let me check for myself. Am I able to use my mind, intellect, and sanskars the way I want them? And if not, what is one thing which I can do to claim my right or to have attention, that I don't lose the control? Just reflect. No need to share. Just reflect. The second point is on the mercy, where Baba mentions mercy is to have, or let me reword, constantly have mercy means to have good wishes and pure feelings for every soul. So let me emerge those difficult souls or those souls with whom I find conversation being little challenging, and let me have a pure wish, pure feelings for them. Let me emerge that heart out from them for them. Because my Father is having mercy, so why can't I have? Let me have a pure feeling for those souls. Even if I have to sacrifice the desire of the name, fame, let me do that. But I will never ever have any other feeling other than mercy for that soul. And the third one is the respect. Let me have this constant feeling of respect for everyone. May that be a very simple person, maybe a watchman at my society, may that be a maid at my house who comes to wash utensils, may that be the one who comes to pick up the garbage from my house, may that be my driver, may that be anyone. But I have tremendous amount of respect for that soul, just like I have respect for Shiv Baba. Just like that, I have respect for Dadis. I have respect for those souls as well. I do not see any defects in anyone because all are children of Baba. Even if those people are hurting me, taunting me, nothing impacts me to stop giving respect to them. Let me thank Baba for giving me a chance, opportunity to read or listen to such wonderful versions of his, and I am ready for my part for this current day with a beautiful smile on my face and ready to serve all those who come into my contact with mercy and respect. Thank you everyone. Have a nice day. Om Shanti.